Hey everybody, we're going to take a look at the list we were discussing earlier. The list that's going to be featuring a lot of the Kurnoths and the activations that are going to be fighting first and fighting last. So this is intended to give you guys an idea of spatially kind of how this is working and sort of like what the playbook would be for an example deployment. It's a 4 objective map, so not exactly necessarily Sylvaneth's strong suit, but this is what this map is trying to address, or this list rather is trying to address. Our ability to kind of stay on some objectives and actually kind of dictate things where Sylvaneth typically would struggle. It's kind of have some staying power. So we'll just review some of the concepts here. Our two main blocks of damage dealers and objective holders. Units we really want to be emphasizing are the blocks of Kurnoth hunters, one with the bows, one with the scythes. These are going to be supported by our host of heroes. The Tree Lord Ancient is going to be heading out to fights last on the 4-up. Branch Witch giving fights first to one of our units that are wholly within 12 of it, and then it has to be within a certain range of an Awakened Wildwood, and we'll get into that here in a second. Then we also have a Tree Lord who's much like the Tree Lord Ancient and the Kurnoth size, gets better when it gets charged into. Besides that, we just have some prospecting units, some fast moving units on the flanks with Gossamet Archers. We're proxying a couple of models here. And these Arch Revenants are going to be our Spite Rider Lancers. Just getting to a position where they can get out, take the flanks, or stop something that's trying to take the flanks, position to grab either of these objectives, retreat, be annoying, and delay our opponent as much as possible. So the battle here, as far as scoring, if you take either of the flank objectives, they're worth 2 points. Your home objective is worth 1 point, and you get a bunch of points for your opponent's home objective. So the idea here is to do something called a deny flank. So we're just not worrying about this over here. This is for a couple of reasons. One, we want to make all of our combat power over here and create a problem that our opponent has to solve, because we can continue to score battle tactics with these very annoying Gossamet Archer units, with the Spite Rider Lancers going out, doing things like take their land, reclaim the realms, take the flanks, and we're basically starting a clock so that our opponent has to come into us, and if they do come into us, it's going to be a problem for them. Basically starting a clock so that our opponent has to come into us, and if they do come into us, it's going to be a problem for them. Go over a few things here on the deployment. We put as much of our non-flying units that matter, our most important stuff, is going to be as much as we can wholly on, or at the very least wholly behind this obscuring terrain. This is a pretty underplayed, at least in my opinion, rule that exists out there. If you do not have the fly keyword and you are wholly on or wholly behind terrain, you cannot be targeted by shooting. This is especially important for any of your centerpiece or linchpin heroes that are going to be handing out these synergies that you need to protect. Same goes for your units that are going to be doing the most damage, or just doing effectively what your list is intended to do. So I put the Branch Witch, Tree Lord Ancient, and the Kurnoth Hunters with scythes on here to protect them as much as possible. So we're positioned in such a way that we have options. If we don't know if we're going first, we have a couple of options what we can do. Another reason I wanted to highlight the mission objective and why it's important to deny that flank is that playing the underdog can be very powerful. A lot of lists, especially this one, can be pretty command point heavy, and the ability to be the permanent underdog can be really powerful in this game as well. And just trying to play in a way that you're essentially neutral to your opponent's actions and that you can respond and be in a position to adapt is kind of what we're going for here. One of the main loops I just wanted to show you guys today was this fights first aura that we can hand out with our Branch Witch. So turn 1, we positioned ourselves in such a way that we deployed behind the line that we need to, and we're also close enough to get to this objective with a run. This is important, one, for scoring, but also two, it's going to put us in a position where we can set up so our opponent has to come into us, deal with us on that objective, and start affecting the battle. And if we run, we can't fail it. We'll roll at least a 6. So you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're outrunning your plan. So what I mean by that, we'll go ahead and move here. Let's say we decide to spin the command point to at the double this unit of Kurnoth Hunters, and we got way up here on this objective, and it comes time to use our Tree Lord Ancient, and we try to run them. They only have a 5-inch move, and we roll a 1. That means we're only moving 6 inches. We just moved ourselves outside of our plan. So you always want to be thinking and using your resources diligently so that you don't put yourself in a position where you can't do what you intended to do. We do want to actually get him in combat, which is maybe strange for some folks considering he's a wizard. But if we can get him in combat, that means we're handing out that 4-up fights last to whatever comes into him, which is a big deal. The Tree Lord Ancient tries the 4-up fights last. Let's say he gets it. Great. That's fantastic. In subsequent turns, or if we position the Dryads up here, or if the Spite Rider Lancers, for whatever reason, if we went second and they come in and get into whatever there, they get the 3-up fights first. We have another chance with the Branch Witch to get a 3-up fights first. Just stacking those and giving multiple layers of redundancy in our plan to give our opponent as few chances of getting activations, mitigating their damage, and making their time not worthwhile. Our main idea here is just showing you that loop of how to build that kind of command network of your Branch Witch being able to support both flanks and committing to just one side of the flank, allowing your opponent to come in, crash against your shield wall, get defeated, and then once you are able to to neutralize or destroy that main threat, you can start swinging around to their home objective and score even more points. This would be even more walled off by your Dryads. And then let's say they commit all their forces over here, even better. You're going to be able to very easily maneuver, take both of these objectives, and you'll be outscoring them by the end of the game. So Sylvaneth really focuses on that long game. So that is what this list is trying to do. I'd love to hear your feedback, hear what you think about the list, and we'll look to do some more analyses on some other battle plans, some other lists, and be looking forward to that until next time. Thanks for watching. Take care.